Hello my dudes, and welcome back to another video. My name is Siana, and today we're doing something a little bit different. If you've been to my channel before, or if you just take a quick little look at my background, you'll see there's a bunch of Squishmallows. I'm kind of obsessed. If you didn't know, Squishmallows are these little soft plushy toy things. I'll show you my little bat for an example. They are varying sized plushies with super soft fabric as well as stuffing inside of it. This is the typical shape of a Squishmallow, is just like a blob, just blob. You come in some other shapes as well, like this little cylindrical hug-me, or a hug-me that looks like this, more like a stereotypical stuffed animal plush. Squishmallows are pretty popular. I'm sure you've heard of them. And with popularity comes little copycats, right? There are a ton of other brands and just random sellers who are making Squishmallow-esque plushies, which, you know what? Some of them are pretty cute. Some of them I've been very tempted to buy. But one day at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I was scrolling on Amazon, just looking for Squishmallows, as one does at 3 a.m. when they can't sleep. And I came across this. I didn't know how to feel about it. I just would like to say this is the plush that inspired this entire video. It just looks like they cut off the face of one of like the big feet Squishmallows and just sewed it onto another plushie, which makes me feel weird on the inside. And I you know what? Even though this inspired the video, I didn't buy it. Listen, if we do this again, maybe I'll buy that plush, but that one kind of scares me, so I didn't want it in my house. I did, however, find 5 other plushies that I would consider to be almost Squishmallows. Some of them are weird, some of them are cute. One of them is absolutely horrendous, and I'm so sorry in advance. But I just kind of wanted to do a little like almost Squishmallow haul. So I'm gonna be showing you the plushies that I got, talk about how similar they are to Squishmallows, and then also how different they are. Feel like I explained the concept? Hopefully you get it. I'm sure you get it. You're smart. You've got the big brains. I believe in you. Let's get started. First, I'm gonna show you the one that's most stereotypical Squishmallow shape, which is this guy. Aside from the legs, he is pretty much like the shape of a Squishmallow. So some of them do have arms and legs, so I feel like it kind of works, it kind of fits. He also reminded me a bit of a Bigfoot because of his little teefies. The embroidered part feels kind of like a Squishmallow. You know, the fabric is super soft. Honestly, the fabric is not that far from a Squishmallow. The stuffing, not as soft. And he's not as plump, as you can see. He's flat. He's a little flapjack. Also, he's kind of scary. I don't like the way he looks at you. I got this from a store called Miniso. They have so many little plushies in that store. And like this, you know what? Like from afar, if I put that in the background, you would not be able to tell that it wasn't a Squishmallow, right? Like it's the same general shape. The colors fit in pretty well, and the quality is like not atrocious. I feel like the thing that really gets you though is how flat it is. Some Squishmallows are pretty flat, but this is just like super flat. On a scale of 1 to 10, this one is definitely not the worst one I got. I'm gonna give this like a solid 6. 7. I'm gonna give him a 7. Do I like his face? Not really, but he is pretty Squishmallow-esque, so good for him. This next almost Squishmallow that I'm gonna show you is going to be one that to me looks like it could be one of these little Squishmallow clips. So this is one of the official Squishmallow clips, and this is what I would call a copycat of a Squishmallow clip. We've got a little avocado here. Again, we've got the blob shape down. They are about the same size. I feel like if this one didn't have his little wings or legs or whatever, then they would be about the same size. Also, this one is a little flippy flip one. The flip side is so sad. Look, it's heartbroken. This side doesn't really strike me as being like an almost Squishmallow, but the avocado definitely does. Fabric is fairly different. This one's definitely not as soft. The actual clip-on part itself is pretty different. This is just that little metal beaded sort of clip, whereas Squishmallows typically have like a matching color that clips like this. I honestly feel like it's a pretty good Squishmallow dupe though. I'd rate this like a solid 8 out of 10, honestly. Like if I saw this from afar, I would just think that this was a little avocado Squishmallow, which they have. And he looks kind of like this. So I just got this from a toy store in our mall called Totally Thomas. They have so many different plushie brands. This is OMG Inside Outies. I was gonna save the cursed one for the end, but do you just want to see the cursed one now? I have no words to prepare you for this. So again, just for a little bit of reiteration, this is a Squishmallow hug-me. This is the kind of shape that I ordered for an almost Squishmallow. And let me tell you, it's not even almost a Squishmallow. Let me just... This is a frog, by the way. It was listed as being a frog. They also had some kind of bird, I think it was, but I decided to get the frog. What are his eyes? Like what is this? Also, it's super wrinkly. This was the first almost Squishmallow that shipped. It actually came with another one that I'll show you after this. I bought this little guy on Amazon. Listen, the color's great. A little frog hug me would be so cute. But like, what is this? Why are his eyes the way that they are? Also, his leg, can we talk about his legs? He's got the most massive rotund body and then these tiny little legs that aren't gonna hold him up in any way, shape, or form. The arms are also just like bloop, bloop. Let's compare. This one's obviously a lot cuter. This just looks terrifying. The quality of this is so much better than this one. Now, if we're just talking about how close to a Squishmallow this one is, I'm gonna rate him like a 2. It's almost the same size. That's why I'll give it a 2. And because the fabric's a super nice color, and I would love a little frog hug me. So I'm giving him a solid 2 out of 10. Who gets this unironically? I bought this because it looked so bad in the listing. It looks even worse in real life. I'm not gonna lie, it looks even worse in real life than the listing. And does this even look like a frog? Absolutely not. Like, this doesn't look like anything. This does not look like a frog. This does not look like an animal. This just looks like they threw giant googly eyes on a blob. But he's beautiful in his own way. And you know what? He's growing on me. I kind of like him. Remember when I showed you this shaped Squishmallow? The next one is going to be a dupe of this. And you know what? You know what? It might be the cutest one we got. She's a little wrinkly. She came in the same box as the one we just saw. And they were both vacuum sealed, so they were super flat. I did let them fluff up overnight, but they are both very wrinkly. So ignore her wrinkles, but other than that, she's pretty cute. We have a little cylindrical strawberry cow. It would be a little bit hard to show because she's so light. But look at her. Okay, there is a strawberry cow Squishmallow that I have not yet been able to get my hands on. So I figured I'd treat myself to a little fake hug me version of a strawberry cow. I think she's listen, I think she's cute. I'm gonna probably like throw her in the dryer to like get rid of these little face wrinkles or something. I don't know if that'll help. But the strawberry embroidery is honestly like my favorite thing in the entire world. I think that's so cute. They did such a good job with it. The fabric is pretty soft because there aren't that many hug me's in this shape. She doesn't really look like a great Squishmallow dupe, right? But I feel like if we compare her to this counterpart, she's not bad. Obviously the legs on this guy are a little bit bigger and his tail's got lots of stuffing in it, whereas this one is just like very thin. But if you held these up to me and were like, oh, these are the same brand, I don't think I would really question you. Again, I think it's just the wrinkles that are throwing me off of her, but I think she's precious. I just feel like in comparison to this Hug Me, she's like really good. I'm gonna give her an 8.5 out of 10. I think if she just had a little bit less wrinkles and maybe a little bit more stuffing, but the embroidery is super well done. I feel like the face details look like a Squishmallow, and the color, print, and design are definitely something that Squishmallows themselves would make. So I think she's pretty good. 8.5. And then last but certainly not least, this is a brand that you've probably heard of. It is a brand called Squishables. Most of their products don't look like Squishmallows to me. And to be honest, this one that I got doesn't really look like a Squishmallow to me either, but it's Squishmallow-esque. So here is the little avocado toast boy. Here is the brand. It's the Snuggle Me Snackers by Squishable. Any like flat blob plushie that I see, I automatically compare it to Squishmallows. I know that I shouldn't because I know that not everything is like trying to be a Squishmallow dupe. I know that Squishables is probably not trying to be Squishmallows. This is something completely different. Fabric is totally different. The look of it is totally different. But anything with a blob design and a simple face, I'm like, ooh, how does this live up to Squishmallows? He's got little beads inside of him. The actual fabric itself is completely different from a Squishmallow, so this is like fuzzy, as you can tell. In terms of how similar this is to a Squishmallow, not very. I feel like when I was at the store, I was like, this could work for the video, and now that I'm here at home, I'm like, this is not like a Squishmallow. Did I just get this because I wanted it? You know what? Subconsciously, maybe I was just like, I just kind of want this little guy. I just want him. Listen, 10 out of 10 plushie. In terms of how much of like a Squishmallow it is, I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Not very much. There is an avocado toast Squishmallow, which maybe is why I thought that this kind of compared. I don't know. He's real cute though. I like him. Well, that was the video. You know what? When you group them all together, they almost look like they could all be just off-brand Squishmallows, which is kind of what we were going for. There were other almost Squishmallows that were even weirder than these that I saw on Amazon. So if you'd like to see another installment of me buying almost Squishmallows, let me know. Let me know how similar or different you think these look to actual Squishmallows. I thought this was gonna be a fun idea. I don't know how it actually played out, so you let me know in the comments if you did enjoy this. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you so soon in the next video. Until then, stay safe and take care. Bye!